What time in the day do you milk?
Units on. Well, Richard's got the units on by 4 in the morning and by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. His whole aim is it was a lifestyle thing, and he wants to be finished by 5 o'clock in the afternoon, which is fair enough. He wants to be home normally 6:30 in the morning to see his family before they go off. And
It's an early start.
it's got, yeah, but he's an early person. He always has been.
Yeah.
It's just the way it works. But it works. But the relief, we come in. I won't have reliefs and that in before 4, because we want to retain staff, and you can chase it too early otherwise. But I mean, if it suits him if we were a high yielding intensive herd, you'd have to be more rigid. But it doesn't seem to make a lot of difference.
Okay. Yeah.
It takes about a couple of hours, I suppose, an hour. Richard will milk quicker than myself, but it takes probably an hour and 3/4 to 2 hours to milk. Go on, my love. Go on, my love. We've got a bit of a trouble sometimes in the summer getting them in. They don't want to come in, but now we're at the sort of size where you've sort of got another person somewhere near anyway.
Yeah.
What we like to do is just get a few more to warrant that second person all the time.
So you're able to put your parlour anyway into the shed here?
Yeah, well, this was a straw yard basically, so we decided to just put the parlour in here. We thought if it's under one roof, it's better. We looked at all sorts. We thought we'd put a 24-48 Waikato herringbone in. We're very pleased with it. Someone said to me to stick to Waikato parts. Don't buy imitation parts, because they're made for a reason and they're made good. So that's basically what we've done. It's New Zealand style, apart from we've got some sides to make it a bit warmer, for it is cold in the winter here. There's no ACRs or anything, but we milk on a lower pressure, about 42.
Okay.
So we don't get the T10 damage, or we don't seem to. We put stainless, so the troughs, we put stainless steel troughs in. Our experience was you can put metal ones in there cheaper, but you only change them when they're falling to pieces, and by that time all the rust has gone inside the cow. We all worry about wires from tyres going in cows. What about the bits that fall off the trough?
Yeah.
And so we shouldn't have to change them again. The chore time feeders, I'm very much pull a string and it works. You know, I'm not into electronics and all this sort of thing, because they will go wrong. Whereas if I've just got to tie another bit of string on or a bit of rope on, it's very, very simple to do. So I don't milk full time. I don't milk part time. I do when the wheels come off. I milk, and I'm quite happy to do it. But I know what's going on then. But I'm not tied down, for I've got quite a few other things to do. To do on the farm and off that I do.
Yeah.
And it works quite well. I keep my hand in. I know what's going on, and if there's a problem, I can understand the problem, because I'm doing it myself sometimes as well.
Yeah.
So it works fairly well.
So no air gates, it's all manually. It's
everything's manual.
String operated there or whatever. But
pull a bit of string and it comes up. It's very, very simple. And the front gates are
scissor gates.
Yeah, those ones you operate a hand. I can't think of the make them now.
Yeah.
It's very, very simple.
It's kept very clean as well.
Yeah, Richard's meticulous. He's a good herdsman.
Yeah.
He likes it clean. He gives us lessons on when we're milking. We've got to wet the bars down, because you keep them wet all the time, and it's easier to keep clean. But you run a clean house, you've got a tidy ship, and it should work fairly well. You get less problems.
Yeah. Do you like the gates?
Yeah.
Do you like the front gates?
Yes. Yeah. We had to put an extra bar on because some of the cows were putting their head back over to get the cake, so we've just put an extra bar on there.
Yeah.
We've had a bit of trouble with the pump at the minute. We worked out what it was this morning, and the non-return valve had fallen to pieces. Hence, we've got a bit of pipe stuck up here, so I've got to get another non-return valve.
Okay.
But it's just simple. We drill the hole in there, so if it goes wrong, we just drop another pump in.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
It does get cold, so we're looking east at the minute. So there's a straw yard in front of us, and the east wind comes in there like anything. So we put some bales up there the first year to see if that made a difference, and it helped. So now we've had a sheet put up that goes up in the autumn, and we take it down in the spring, and it just helps to stop it freezing.
So you're doing AI obviously then, and you use AI.
Richard was RMS at train,
Okay,
so he
so
does
he's
all
a
the
lot of
AR.
experience.
Yeah, he's very good with it. And they foot bath every, so we got a foot bath there. We foot bath about 3 times a week,
Okay.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The whole idea is just to keep it simple, but keep the cows healthy.
Yeah.
So we're not pushing them. We just want to keep everything working right.
So you do manual drafting then? Say if
We don't actually use it. We've taken it to pieces because
Yeah.
we don't. There was a bar, but we didn't get on with it. So
Yeah.
we're going to tinker it up and put a bit of rope on there. But
Yeah.
we don't actually use it because we do everything we need to do in the yokes. And
Okay.
occasionally, if you've got to get one out, it's very seldom we're getting one out.
Yeah.
Very, very seldom.
Okay.
So we had an AI race down here. We didn't get on with it, and we never used it. So we've gone and altered it into just a normal race.
Yeah.
And it's a bit wider than what we want, but it's fine. But it means we can get them down to a crush to trim any feet if we need to.
Okay.
We get a foot trimmer in to do most of it, but I mean odd ones we'll do. It's just very simple, and we're probably looking at making this into some pens now. We had to isolate one in here earlier, and it seemed to work fairly well. So we'll put some gates and make this into a load of pens.
Okay. So is your scraper tractor then doing the?
Yeah, well, we bought a new tractor for the scraper. We had an old 135, but the children, my 2 children were starting to get interested, so I thought we'd better have something that stops. And it's been brilliant, actually. It's 4-wheel drive. It wasn't that much money. It's hydrostatic. It saves your left knee and your right knee.
Yeah.
And it's brilliant.
Okay.
It's we use it for getting the cows in. It saves a lot of time. It does save a lot of time.
So you have an A-frame on it then as well for?
We got an A-frame for the wheels as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we put a transport box on the end. We haven't got one.
Okay.
We haven't got a small one yet. We want for it.
Pretty versatile machine, so.
Yeah, it's been really good. We've just bought another Kubota, actually, about 110 horsepower one. It's basic. It's for the cattle yard work. It's
Yeah.
worked a treat.
Okay.
Absolute treat.
Great.
Funny, you get onto the bigger tractors and with the arable, and you always think you need all the extra bigger horsepower and that, but we don't need it here.
Not in a dairy
We
farm
just
scenario.
we just want something that does the job, you
Yeah.
know. And so long as you can, everyone gets problems and breaks and breakdowns, and I think it's how you deal with the problems and breakdowns. That's where you make or save your money. So this is a straw yard. There's nothing in here at the minute.
Do your calving here?
Yeah, so we carve outside in the field.
Okay.
And then bring them in, and then we got a straw yard here. We've got a pen here. We can carve behind a gate if we need to. So we've got 3 of us can. 3 of us are pretty good at carving cows because we used to carve beef cows, and they took a bit more doing.
Yeah.
And then we changed as well. Everyone on the farm now can milk.
Okay.
So we just want enough backup for everything. If something goes wrong, we can deal with it.
Okay.
So I don't want everyone to milk all the time, but everyone can milk.
So cows, maybe they're tender as well, come in here today if they have a chill or something?
Yeah,
They come in.
so we run 2 groups. One's an isolation group, which will be in here otherwise, and so anything in this group doesn't go in the bulk tank. It's quite straightforward. We haven't got to keep any red tapes out
Yeah.
because they're all in here.
Okay.
So it works very simple. We just
Yeah.
don't want to make things complicated.
Yeah, and they get access to feed or whatever.
Yeah,
else.
yeah, we can take one of those doors off and put a feed rail on there, or we can put a feed trailer in. It's just very flexible.
Okay. Why?
That's the football chemical.
Bad. Okay. Okay. And dispenses directly from there, does it?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
drop straight down. We're looking at one of those automatic pumps. It's not very nice stuff. So
Okay.
he wears a respirator when he's doing
Yeah.
it. It's not very nice stuff. So it just works well. If you keep this clean, and dry, then you keep the cows clean and dry.
Yeah,
At a
okay.
risky time. Any Yonis cows we're getting rid of. So we haven't got many. I looked this morning, and I think there's about 5 or 6 highs that go.
Okay.
So any problems, we just cull.
Okay.
Because if in the early you get rid of it, or we found with the beef, you get rid of your problems as quick as you can, and then you save money.
Yeah. Your first loss, as you were saying. is
First
the-
loss is best loss.
Yeah,
That's the
okay.
problem.
Got your lots quickly. Do the fans help?
I think so. Richard uses them. I think they help. We did look at putting a spray line across the end, but we're sort of work in progress. I mean, we've turned the farm upside down in the last 2.5 years or last 3 years, and there's a few bits we're still doing. So I think the fans only went in last year.
Yeah.
And this sheet only went up last year. We were just trying different things. So it's just trying to work out what fits into your system, because every system's different.
Yeah.
I know it's still the same farm, you're still milking cows, but I look at it, all we've got to do is get milk out of a cow, and we don't want to spend too much money. We were given 2 figures for, well, a bottom figure, so with a milking parlour would either cost us down there or up there, depending what we had. Ours cost us down there, and it does the job, and it's simple, and that's what I quite like. And I don't mind buying something if we need it, but I don't want to buy it because we think we need it. It's got to have a job and be used for it.
Yeah. Cool.
Have a look at you.
Just to show it's a family. The children's
Okay, nice idea.
Henry James Blatchford and Amelia Grace Blatchford.
So it's an 18,000 litre tank, so it's put in for the maximum that you'd ever milk here with the litres you get. I don't think we'll ever get there. We're selling on about 9,000 litres a day at the minute.
Every other day collection, is it?
Every other day for
Yeah.
200 for about 204 cows.
Yeah.
So we've got a plate cooler in. We're looking at heat recovery. We'll probably put in this coming year if I can get a grant for it. I just will get the grant money. And I'm not because I've inherited a farm with so much asbestos. I'm very worried about solar panels because I think you'll find a hazardous waste.
Okay.
At the end of the day, but we will end up putting some, I think we'll put some solar in there. Now the grant's gone, if they stack up without the grant, then they stack up.
Okay.
And so we will probably look at that. We managed to fix our electric. It was complete luck. We fixed it about 18, 20 months ago when it was low. And so we've got about another 14 to 18 months left on it. And so we've got time to think what we're going to do. I think it's the water heating and the handling, the slurry that we use it on. So
yeah.
So we've got this is a tank room. We've got a plant room down here.
Pump and electric room.
Yeah, electric room.
Yeah.
But I know we've got some junk put in front of here, but the chap that did the plumbing work is immaculate.
Yeah.
You know, he's done it tidy. We put the frame in so that when they're servicing this, they've got somewhere to rest the ladder against kneel on when they want to service it. If we make it easy for them, they're going to be done quicker. They'll be happy to come when we've got a problem, and they'll be out and it'll cost us less.
And it's very visible, everything. Yeah.
And we've got water storage down the end there, so the plate cooler water comes in, gets used again for the water troughs. That's the only thing if there's one thing I'm sceptical about is we've got to pump water just for everything, but I can't do anything about it. So we've got a backup generator that'll run the whole site.
Yeah.
So it's very simple.
And your milk recording?
Yeah, we didn't have any milk recordings, so we've had to buy these Waikato things, but they're simple.
Yeah.
We actually bought new ones because the second-hand ones were too expensive by the time we tinker them up.
Yeah.
We've left a slot here, so we've got a variable speed load pump on the vacuum pump. We're going to put a second-hand vein pump in case we get a breakdown, and just tweak it once every week or fortnight. Then we're backed up.
Yeah.
But we're still in. We need to put some shelves up and bits and pieces. We're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Good.
So we've got these. We've just put these this weigh cell on here, which is by Collinson's.
Yeah.
And there's two of those on there, and that measures the torsion of the distortion of the leg. I don't know how it works. I don't know.
And you just drill, or
you drill. They give you a pattern, and you drill the holes in what you've got to do. We had to get some longer screws because these legs are a bit thicker. There's two on this bin. I think depending on what the bin is, But it seems to. It's a massive help to us on ordering the cake. Huge help.
So what's the benefit of it, or where are you using it?
I know how much cake we're using, and whereabouts we are with it on ordering cake, especially when. Just last year you had to book it 7 days ahead or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were a bit, have we got enough, haven't we? We know more where we are now, so it's much better.
Yeah. Monitoring usage as well, and.
Yeah, we can. So at the end of the month we can keep a track of how much is left in the bin. We know what we're using, so for all of the accounts and that, it just makes it easier.
How accurate do you think it is? Or how close?
I can't read what it says in there. I don't think.
You're happy with it anyway?
I'm happy with it. I mean, I did question it the other day. Maybe occasionally it throws a blip.
Yeah.
But it's not bad at all.
And is it just a visual inside, or does it come to your phone?
You can have it on the phone as well. We're not into that, so we don't bother with that. We pay the extra money just to have the box. I just want to be able to see it. Otherwise, I've got to learn how to use the thing on the phone. So.